Leona enters the King of Fighters tournament. After years of training, Leona Heidern finally joins the famous fighting tournament in the King of Fighters. Her first appearance as a playable character happens in the King of Fighters 96. But why did her team enter the tournament? The Ikari Warriors team, led by Heidern, doesn't enter the tournament just for sport. They usually join for military investigation missions. The tournament often attracts powerful fighters, criminal organizations, and supernatural forces. So Heidern uses the event as a cover operation to investigate global threats. So I'm sure you're wondering, why didn't Heidern choose anyone else to replace him? Didn't he see the risk of having Leona enter the tournament? That's a very logical question, and the story actually gives a few strong reasons why Heidern chose Leona Heidern despite the risks. Here are a few reasons as to why he let her participate. 1. She was already one of his best soldiers. By the time of the King of Fighters 96, Leona had already become one of the most skilled fighters in the Ikari mercenary unit. Her abilities included elite military combat training, assassination techniques, tactical awareness, and supernatural power from her Orochi blood. From a purely combat perspective, she was actually the most qualified person to replace him. Even soldiers like Ralph Jones and Clark Still respected her ability. So for Heidern, the decision wasn't just emotional, it was also practical. 2. He believed discipline could control her power. Heidern believed that the years of strict training and emotional control he gave Leona had stabilized her. By that point, she had not lost control in years. She had proven herself on real military missions. And she had learned to suppress strong emotions. From his perspective, she was stable enough to operate in high-risk situations. 3. Her teammates could restrain her if necessary. Heidern didn't send her alone. He placed her with 2 soldiers who knew her secret, Ralph Jones and Clark Still. They were specifically trusted to watch her condition, step in if she lost control, and restrain her if the riot of the blood appeared. In other words, the team itself was part of the safety system. 4. He wanted her to face the world. Another subtle reason is psychological. Heidern knew Leona had lived most of her life isolated inside military discipline because of her past. Allowing her to fight in the King of Fighters tournament gave her a chance to grow as a person, interact with other fighters, and confront enemies tied to Orochi. In a way, it was also part of helping her move forward from her trauma. So yes, Heidern absolutely knew the risk, but he believed she had gained enough control, the team could protect her, and she deserved the chance to prove herself. Unfortunately, later events show that the Orochi blood is much harder to suppress than anyone expected. So in the tournament, Leona fights alongside Ralph Jones and Clark Still. Before Leona joined, the team was originally Ralph, Clark, and Heidern. But when Heidern began focusing more on commanding the unit rather than fighting, Leona replaced him in the tournament team. This created the classic Ikari Warriors lineup seen in many games. Her personality. During the tournament. Even during the tournament, Leona stands out because of how different she is from most fighters. While many characters are loud, arrogant, and playful, Leona is quiet, serious, and focused entirely on the mission. She usually speaks very little, sometimes only a few words. Her teammates often do the talking while she stays silent and observant. Why the tournament is important for her participating in the King of Fighters tournaments slowly helps Leona experience life outside strict military missions, interact with other fighters, and face enemies connected to Orochi. Eventually, the tournaments lead to situations where her Orochi blood becomes a major problem again. One of the most important of these events happens during the Orochi saga, where her power nearly takes over again.